Welcome back to Coin Explorer. All right, coin hunters and history lovers, strap in, because today we're diving deep into a numismatic mystery that could flip your entire perception of pocket change. It's a story about a coin that seems ordinary, something you might find at the bottom of a drawer or inside an old purse, but it holds secrets that have stunned collectors and stirred speculation across the world. I'm talking about the 1991 South African Rand coin. A piece of metal, yes, but also a potential treasure. And while the exact value can't be confirmed down to a single dollar, some graded versions of this coin, under very specific conditions, have been discussed in circles of coin enthusiasts as reaching into the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and possibly beyond, even into seven figures. Sounds unbelievable? Stick with me, because the story behind this coin is steeped in history, intrigue, and numismatic anomalies that could make even the most skeptical coin collector lean in. So before you dismiss that old stash of coins in the back of your cupboard or pass up a forgotten envelope of foreign currency, hit pause. Because by the end of this story, you might be rushing to check if you've got one of these little legends in your collection. Let's start with what meets the eye. The 1991 South African Rand coin was minted from nickel, a silver-white metal known for its resistance to corrosion and its strength. It weighs approximately 5 grams, has a diameter of 23 millimeters, and has a solid, slightly matte finish that gives it a durable look and feel. This coin was made to last, and last it did. The obverse side features the iconic springbok antelope, a creature synonymous with South Africa's wild beauty and national pride. Leaping across the coin's surface, the springbok is more than just a symbol. It's a statement, and above it, the words Suid-Afrika and South Africa are engraved, often rotating across different official languages, depending on the year and minting pattern. But that's just the surface. Let's peel back the layers. 1991 wasn't just any year. It was a turning point, not only in South African politics but also in its cultural and monetary identity. The winds of change were sweeping the nation. The apartheid regime was crumbling. Nelson Mandela, though not yet president, had been released from prison the year before and was beginning his march into history. The country stood on the threshold of transformation. And right in the midst of this national metamorphosis, the South African Mint was quietly producing a new set of coins. Among them, the 1991 Rand. Here's where things get interesting. Unlike many other minting years, the 1991 edition of the Rand coin has remained shrouded in mystery and whispers among collectors. You won't find official statements declaring it a special edition. You won't find glossy commemorative boxes. But what you will find are subtle, nearly imperceptible variations that have driven experts into deep analysis and driven up the value for those who spot them. Some collectors have reported anomalies in the springbok's positioning, a slight misalignment in its legs or tail. Others have noted variations in the font thickness used for the date or tiny die cracks running along the rim. Signals that the coin may have been part of a unique batch, struck using different dies, or during a transitional minting process. One theory suggests that the 1991 factorial Rand was caught in a shift between minting standards, potentially creating coins with hybrid designs, unintentional errors, or experimental features that never made it to mass production. If true, that would make certain examples not just rare, but one of a kind. Let's talk about rarity for a moment. In the world of coin collecting, rarity is king. But rarity isn't just about how many coins were made. It's about how many survived, how many stayed in pristine condition, and how many have unique features that set them apart. Imagine this. Out of thousands or even millions of coins minted in a given year, only a handful have a misaligned die or a double strike, or a metal impurity. These aren't flaws, they're features. Features that collectors will pay dearly to own. Now let me take you to a moment that shook the numismatic world. In 2022, a coin enthusiast from Cape Town stumbled upon a 1991 1 Rand coin tucked inside an old family album. It had been taped next to a photograph of a safari trip, a simple keepsake from the past. But something looked off. The springbok's hooves seemed slightly elevated above the baseline. The 1 in 1 Rand appeared slightly thicker than usual. It was barely noticeable, but it was enough. The coin was sent for grading, and what came back shocked everyone. Not only was the coin in mint state, MS-67 condition, but it also showed an unlisted die variation. The grading agency, while not declaring it a special edition, marked it as an unusual strike with exceptional preservation. Word spread fast. Collectors began whispering, was this a trial strike, a transitional mint, or just an ultra-rare variation? The coin was never sold at public auction, but insiders in the numismatic world estimate that if it were to hit the open market, it could fetch well over 6 figures, and perhaps more depending on the bidder's appetite. So, do you see now? This isn't just about metal. It's about mystery. It's about timing, preservation, and a perfect storm of historical context. But what does this mean for you? Well, it means you could be holding a piece of this story, especially if you or someone you know has a collection of South African coins from the late 80s or early 90s. That old coin jar? That shoebox in your grandfather's closet? They could hold something astonishing. So how can you tell if your 1991 1 Rand coin might be special? Here are a few things to look for. 1. Die variations. Check for slight changes in the springbok's position, leg alignment, or muscle definition. Compare with official images online. 2. Font inconsistencies. Is the 1991 thicker, slanted, misaligned? Is the 1 in 1 Rand slightly different? 3. Edge and rim. Details. Are there tiny cracks, doubling, or raised bumps along the edge? 4. Language variations. Some coins feature the country's name in less common languages. These might be even rarer. Condition 5. A coin in mint state, MS-65 and above, could increase in value dramatically, especially with other anomalies. Now let's talk about grading. This is where raw coins turn into investment-grade assets. Professional services like NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company, and PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, evaluate coins based on condition, rarity, and striking errors. Once certified, the coin's value can skyrocket, not just because of its features, but because of the trust and authenticity that grading provides. A raw 1,991 1 Rand coin with anomalies might raise eyebrows. But a graded MS-68 with a verified die error? That's when the real bidding wars begin. And remember, just because your coin doesn't look perfect doesn't mean it isn't valuable. Some errors, like off-center strikes or double dies, are actually more valuable in circulated condition because they're so rare. Let's zoom out a bit. The coin market is more alive today than ever before. Collectors across the globe are rediscovering old currencies, hunting for rare mintings, and connecting with history through the power of coins. Online platforms, coin expos, and private forums are filled with stories of coins found in flea markets, in couch cushions, even buried in backyards, selling for sums that most of us wouldn't believe. And as time goes on, these coins only become rarer. Fewer remain in top condition. Fewer anomalies survive scrutiny. And fewer opportunities exist for the average person to stumble across a piece of lost history. But that's exactly what makes it so exciting. So, if you're holding a 1991 South African 1 Rand coin right now, take a close look. What story does it tell? What secrets does it hold? Could it be one of the rare few, the unexpected gems hiding in plain sight? Because here's the truth. Coins are more than currency. They're storytellers. They're witnesses to history. They're silent artifacts from times of change, uncertainty, and hope. And sometimes, just sometimes, they're also the keys to incredible fortune. Before we wrap up, here's your action plan. Search your home, your family's keepsakes, even local markets or antique shops. Examine your 1991 coins carefully, under bright light with a magnifying glass. Compare with known designs. Look for anything unusual. Submit to a grading agency if you believe you found something special. And most importantly, don't dismiss the ordinary, because sometimes the ordinary hides the extraordinary. Thank you for joining us today, coin explorers. If stories like this spark your curiosity and fuel your hunt for hidden treasures, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your fellow collectors. You never know who might be holding history in their hands. And always remember, every coin has a story. Some are worth cents. Others, maybe even millions. Keep looking, keep learning, and maybe, just maybe, your next discovery will be the one that changes everything.